All righty. Well, sometimes it's not what you want and how you want it, but somehow they found a way to win the game, and we got out of there with a W. And wasn't pretty, but overall they made the plays when it was time to make the plays, and made a couple shots when we needed to make a couple shots, and won the game. But it was an ugly game for us to win, But this team found a way to do it, and that's a plus.
What part did you think was most ugly? Was it just the way? Was it the way the fourth quarter kind of dwindled down?
Yeah, I just thought that you got to play this game with the right spirit, And I just thought as we were playing on the floor, it wasn't there, and But granted, they somehow pulled it together to make the right plays at the right time, and and our bench did a great job coming in the game, giving us a plus number pretty much all throughout the night, and had different combinations. And Detroit is trying to get that win, and they had different combinations on the floor, and so you're trying to find the right group. This group is going to be a hard group to kind of make sure everybody get equal time. It's not going to happen. We got too many good players that want to play. So some guys play some nights, some guys don't. But the bottom line is that we're all in together for one thing, and that's for our basketball team, the Sacramento Kings.
Can you comment on Jimmer's play tonight?
I thought, the guy stays ready all the time. He plays a game, doesn't play a game. I'm trying to find the right situation for him to get in the game, and I thought he kept his mind right. He was at practice early this morning, working out prior to practice, and he stayed with the right spirit on the floor, and was able to come in and make some big plays for us. So that's the kind of guys you got to have as your team is growing, and I think we got a lot of character guys on our team. But every now and then we get a little bit to where we want to be on our own. But then they finally backed off and understood that the team became more important than the individual, and we ended up getting a win.
Is there any concern where the assist number has been over the first 5 games of the season?
I see when you pick the stat sheet up and you see the assist number. I see when I look at the film, just not making an open shot. So we got to make the open shots, So sometimes when you look at the assist number and all those things there, we're in an end result business. Did we win tonight? So I'm not worrying about the assist number tonight. I haven't passed each other tomorrow at practice.
Coach, we had the issue with Thomas Robinson tonight.
Yeah.
What do you do with a young player in that situation, trying to move him forward?
That's it. You do just what happened. He get tossed out of a game. That's the best thing that can happen. And now he understands that I can't do that again. So whatever the punishment comes from the league office, if it's more, that's how you learn. The stove was hot, and he put his hand on the stove, and he got tossed out of the game. Now he'll learn from that, and you probably won't have that happen again for the next 15 years of his career.
Coach, did you see the incident at all?
No. I'll go watch the film, and I'll call you tonight.
Okay. I'll be up tonight.
All right. Yeah.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about the 3-guard set that you went with Jimmer?
Well, again, you talk about assists. You're looking at guys who have a history of making some shots and shooting. So going with a smaller lineup, again, the matchup was conducive to what they had on the floor. So right away I had to change it when they brought Tayshaun back in because they were going to go right into post-up action. But during that time, we were able to get the right group, small group on the floor, space the floor, and then allow Cousin with a lot of room to work in there, and also Tyreek when he was able to penetrate. So that lineup worked for this game because it gave us the right spacing on the floor. We got to the basket. We got to the free throw line. All those things. We could get into a better pick-and-roll game because we did have guys that you have to honor from the three-point line.
7 players in double figures. How encouraging is that, considering the struggles?
Well, yeah, well, that's good. Like I said, we have a team, and I got to preach this to my team and our team all the time, that we have a team, and you have to buy into that. It's just that simple. You have to buy into that. There are a lot of guys that practice hard every day that some don't get to play, and they have to buy into that. So when they get on the floor with a chance to play, they got to support the other guys. And our team is going to get there. This is, as I said in the room, it's only November. Relax. But I just want them to understand how important it is for them to keep growing, because they could be on the cusp of something special. They got to see that. That's what I want them to see.